So, I wanted to tell everyone how amazing Rochelle is and kind of do a little validation the best I could, being this was a phone call. So, I'm not telling a lot of you something that you already don't know about her, but wanted to share. She still blows my mind to this day with her accuracy. The connection she has with spirit amazes me, and I'm sure many of her followers as well. So, back in December, my mom had a very, very bad fall, resulting in multiple facial fractures and having a head bleed, known as a subdural hematoma, which would result in her developing a second head bleed known as a subarachnoid. Now, I have worked in healthcare for many years, specifically in ICU, and have cared for numerous patients with this caliber of injury. So, to say the least, I was very concerned about the subdural. But after seeing the initial scan, it wasn't over concerning. My mom does take aspirin, so it was like, it may extend a little bit, but it's not that large. Hopefully, it doesn't get, too much bigger. Um, the initial bleed was very small, and the plan of care was just to kind of watch it and repeat a CAT scan, and hopefully it wouldn't extend. The repeat CAT scan was scheduled for 4 a.m., but some things had happened before then, so there were numerous CAT scans done between 2 and like 6:30 in the morning. Um, at first I thought, okay, she's on aspirin, it's small, it may extend a little, but we'll probably be watched for a few days and then sent home. Neurosurgery felt the same, and myself and trauma and neurosurgery ended up being very wrong. We didn't expect what would occur over the next few hours. In the mix of all this, Rochelle and I had spoke on the phone, and she was sending prayers and trying to calm down what little nerves I had left. She began getting visions as we were on the phone. And at first, it didn't make sense with the CAT scan that I was shown earlier. But she did tell me that my mom was going to go for surgery, and she saw doctors around her in an OR setting. And basically, don't delay surgery and the treatment, and to at least give her a chance with the surgery, because I was kind of on the fence if she was going to need surgery. Rochelle began describing areas of the brain that were affected, and some didn't make sense at the time. Not even 45 minutes after I hung up with Rochelle, I received a call from her medical team that my mother was crashing and was on her way to the OR for an emergent craniotomy. Now, around the time of the repeat CT scan, and when my mother was starting to crash, and after finally getting access to her reports, everything Rochelle described to me made complete sense. She described to a T what was reported on her CAT scan. Rochelle also sent healing energy to my mom, as well as Tammy did too, and I cannot thank these ladies enough for it. Needless to say, my mom did so well, like essentially miracle well. Not only did she have the initial subdural, but she suffered a significant shift in her brain, resulting in a second head bleed known as a subarachnoid that I spoken about earlier. My mother was immediately extubated after surgery, knew the year, knew the month, knew where she was at, and most importantly, she had recognized me. Rochelle was adamant to me that she had to have surgery and she would be okay. And she was so right. I still can't believe how well my mom was immediately post-op and even today. Working in this field for many years, I have never seen a patient with this type of injury and this caliber of injury do so well so quick. Colleagues of mine who came for support at the hospital who have 30 plus years of ICU experience couldn't believe it either. Her neurosurgeon was astounded that she recognized her loved ones, and I am forever grateful for Rachelle and her gifts. I am so blessed to call her my friend. Rachelle and Tammy mean the world to me, and I'm so thankful we all cross paths. I just want to say if anybody is on the fence or questions her abilities, please, please don't, because she knew things I didn't even know. The hospital never told me about the second bleed or the shift because it was such an emergent situation. And me and the medical team had a wonderful rapport. I mean, they were calling me with updates. You know, I don't want to make it seem like they didn't tell me something. It was just such an emergent situation. And when Rachelle was describing things to me, it didn't make sense because I didn't know how bad the CAT scan was. I want to say I know in my heart my mother did so well, not only because of her amazing medical team that she had, but because of Rachelle and her healing abilities and the prayers Rachelle and Tammy had sent. The neurosurgeon told me my mom would have passed within an hour or two if she didn't have surgery. And I know in my heart her amazing recovery would not have been as good if it wasn't for all of this. You know, Rachelle truly is an amazing human with gifts I have never seen before. So please, if you're considering a reading, just schedule it. You will not be disappointed. I have had 3 readings so far with her, and she knew things in those readings she couldn't have. The situation with my mom is something she would have never been able to know. I didn't even know all the details until weeks after. When I finally got her results and reports. Rachelle, I cannot thank you enough for what you did, for your guidance, for your prayers, for your healing, for my mom and myself. Love you, girlfriend, and keep being your amazing self.